Shalom, shalom. Man, hope everybody's having a blessed day. Man, I'm seeing all kind of videos where so-called men of the cloth are sitting around partaking in this stuff and not saying nothing in our community. Men that you are supposed to be able to go to the book, that they're studied in the book, supposedly. And you're supposed to be able to get some wisdom from them. First and foremost, man, if this is your first time watching my channel, looking at any of my content, let me give you a disclaimer. Man, I don't care about your opinions, your feelings, none of that crap if you're waging it against the truth to try to silence the truth. Don't care about it. I don't sugarcoat the truth over here. And I'll go ahead and tell you this. If this is shocking to you, man, you need to tune in to my Sabbath day teaching this Saturday at 2 p.m. I promise you, I guarantee you, you will get more Bible, more understanding, and more truth than you'll get from any one of your Sunday sun worshiping Christian teachers. Guarantee you that. You got to tune in. Right now in Western civilization, it is graduation time. High schoolers are graduating and now planning their future. And if your parents pledged Greek, there's a high probability that if you're Black, you're thinking about doing that because how honorable they make it seem. And I'll tell you, man, for people to pay to get educated and to leave out so stupid blows my mind. Blows my mind. You mean to tell me you paid an astronomical amount of money to go get the 4-year college experience at an HBCU? You went there Black or a Semitic people, and you came out pledging Greek. Man, when you think about the movie Stump the Yard, man, that's something we as Black people, we love. Stump the Yard. My frat brothers, my sorority sisters. Man, I have been in churches and Sunday sun worship and pastors, elders, deacons getting up talking about this stuff. Well, that's my frat brother. This is my sorority sister, and I'm glad to have her on as a, co-pastor. Man, you looking at Sunday sun worship church parking lot. Man, you're gonna see a bunch of WWJD. What would JC do? Stickers right next to some fraternity and sorority stickers. And I'm gonna be honest, Yahshua HaMashiach was a man of truth. So he probably would have gave you a strong rebuke because that was his way. He was known for whooping hind part in the temple. He was known for it, for casting out those that wasn't obeying the word of the Most High Yah. It's a doggone shame, man. And I'm talking about this because right now, this next 2-3 month window, not only are you gonna have some of our people that's gonna pay an astronomical amount of money and be told there's gonna be a high-paying job waiting on you at the end. That's what the administration office is telling you. You're probably on the fence. And then they're gonna tell you, man, our graduates got a high-paying job waiting on them. And these degrees that they're gonna give you is printed on 10-cent parchment paper. A lot of us, we get so caught up in being the first to go to these places that we don't have nobody to give us no wisdom or no truth of what to look out for when we go. So everybody's cheering you on. Congratulations. And your mamas, your daddies, your aunt, ain't nobody researching nothing. First year in there, $30,000 later. Mama, daddy, I'm joining a sorority. I'm joining a fraternity. Many of which claim to be followers of Messiah or Christians. You getting this stuff tattooed, branded on you? Can't make this stuff up. I'm talking about this so that this younger generation doesn't follow into the same sort of ignorance that the book is talking about. And I'm going to talk about this Shabbat message, this Sabbath teaching on Saturday at 2 p.m. is titled, Let No One Deceive You. Man, every year, these fraternal organizations, they have their major event where they come together, in different cities. Man, and they shut it down. They shut it down. And you know who does it the most? Our people. Our people. Our culture is in no way, shape, form, or fashion parallel to that of the Greeks. But, we've had so many people do it, make it seem like it's an honor, it's a pledge. And I'm going to tell you, if you don't repent from that foolishness, you ain't seeing the kingdom. Because this stuff is, man, we're told not to follow the way of the heathen. We're told not to follow the way of the Egyptian. And those two things out of the book, it seems like what we're constantly doing. Fraternities and sororities are Greek because they use Greek letters in their name, typically 3 letters to represent their organization. This tradition began with the first fraternity, Phi Beta Kappa, founded in 1776. Okay? The Greek letters stand for the fraternity or sorority's true name. Man, when you look up the history of this stuff, there ain't no way in the world, as a commandment keeper, I'm going to no university and allowing you to haze me so I can imitate that of the Greeks. Man, a lot of this I put on black men for not doing the research. Fathers out here, you sit up and want all this honor and respect, but you ain't researching nothing as a covering, as a spiritual leader, none of that. Sons and daughters running off to this, and rather than saying, son, you don't need to do that, what do you say? Congratulations, I'm so proud of my son or my daughter. And you didn't allow your children to run off and pledge to something that's filled with idolatry, filled with all kind of other deities in it, and got the nerve to take your butt to church on Sunday. The book says, do not heap up words like the Gentiles do when they pray, because that's what you're doing. Man, let me give you the history of, biblically, what they don't show us due to us not like all they had to do was remove this stuff from the Bible in 1885 and give you this repackaged version so you don't research nothing out. First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 41 through 43. Okay, I encourage you to look at why they were first called Christians at Antioch. Antioch is the land of the heathens. When you look at that word Christian, the etymology of that word in the Strong's number, you're going to realize the Gentiles gave the followers of Messiah that name. Etymology shows you that. So Hellenistic, man, we read about Hellenistic Israelites in the Bible. They call them Hellenistic Jews, Hellenistic Yahudim. And what that means is, man, you're literally imitating Greeks. Literally imitating Greeks. Our people follow every example except that of the Messiah. You didn't see, now you can't, I'm gonna be honest, you can't blame Paul for this one. Paul didn't tell you to never pledge no Greek. Messiah never told you to pledge Greek. The Messiah told the disciples, man, don't go into the land of the Gentiles. He told the majority of them, don't go there. Paul was the one told to go there. And Paul ain't never told you, to pledge no freaking Greek. Man, you look at some of the stuff that goes on in these fraternities, in these sororities. These are some sick Negroes. I'm going to be honest. They're some sick, nasty Negroes. Wife swapping, husband swapping. There's some sexually immoral stuff prohibited by Torah. Okay? First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 41 through 43. Antiochus, okay, they was first called Christians at Antioch, right? Let's look about King Antiochus. Antiochus now issued a decree that all nations in his empire should abandon their own customs and become one people. So these heathens, when they go to college and pledge, they know what they're doing. It's their culture. But us, we think it's such an opportunity to get a seat at the table, a seat at this heathen defiled table. And with great pleasure, we give you the opportunity to pledge Greek. And what do you got to do? You got to pay dues. Paying dues to imitate somebody else. Man, that's the pinnacle of brainwashing, the pinnacle of deception. But because we're lost sheep, we don't research nothing. We don't research nothing. And I'm going to talk about it further on the Shabbat message this Saturday, 2 p.m. It says, Antiochus now issued a decree that all nations in his empire, Antiochus, heathen, in his empire should abandon their own customs and become one people. Man, I don't give a dang. What nation you from? Abandon your customs, your tradition, your heritage. It said all the Gentiles, I wonder why it's all. Why? Because it's their culture to do this crap. All the Gentiles and even many of the Israelites submitted to this decree. They adopted the official pagan religion, offered sacrifices to idols, and no longer observed the Sabbath. I guarantee you, man, if you're a young person, you about to go off to college and your parents have pledged, I guarantee you they don't keep the commandments. I bet you they religious, but I guarantee you they don't keep the commandments. This is what it means to be Hellenistic. Man, I tell you, like I said, black men, man, where you fall, our women ain't going to fall too far from that. And I said, man, we have too many men that have congratulated their sons and daughters for pledging this crap. Meanwhile, you didn't pay $40,000-$50,000, racked up all this student loan debt, for a doggone underwater basket weaving degree, a liberal arts degree, and then pledged Greek while you was there. You can't make this stuff up. Recently, man, there was a pastor, a black pastor, who made an announcement in front of his congregation that he pledged. Everybody in there lost, clapping. Oh, yeah, woo. What are we seeing? Hamashiach did say, man, I returned for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. All the Gentiles and many of the Israelites submitted to this decree. So if you submitted to this decree, it says they adopted the official pagan religion. What you don't know about your doggone heathen Christianity is they adopted all of the doggone pagan holidays. And you sitting up, I'm telling you, man, y'all need to tune in this Saturday at 2 p.m. for the Shabbat message. Because this is just a little teaser. This really just a little teaser. Because I'm gonna go in on some of this other stuff that people don't do the research on, and we fall into this trap. It's sad, man. It's sad. And when you look at this, you wonder why so many of our people got identity issues. You sitting up imitating somebody that you ain't gonna never be like. And they got a system for your butt too. You want to imitate the heathens? Man, I remember hearing the older black men and women in my family, refer to bad children as heathens. A lot of them didn't research the truth. Fell victim to this stuff. Willful ignorance. Man, I tell you, men in our community, before you do anything, man, I recommend you research the origins of it. Let me look at the origins. Where does the origins of this come from? Everything you do as a father. Your son come to you, hey, daddy, I want to get some earrings. Man, you better look up the origins of that. You're going to find out you don't need to be following this stuff. Your daughter come to you, say something crazy. Daddy, I want to get my belly button pierced. Man, you better look up the origins of this stuff. Just going with the flow. Man, your salvation is on the line. Man, you ain't going to get, man, to be Hellenistic is to walk in unrighteousness. Man, we got more warnings in the book about following heathens, about following these Egyptians, about following these Babylonians. Blows my mind. Man, you got some of our people, let me be honest, you got some of our people that's already got an astronomical amount of student loan debt. And you know black people, what we say, I'm gonna pay $50 on that thing till I die. You can look up the statistics. You can look up the statistics of the amount of student loans that we have, and guess what? They lied. I'm here today to tell you that one of the scams that they pulled on you is these heathens lied to you. You didn't took a doggone degree in liberal arts. in history, in nursing, printed on 10-cent parchment paper, and you're going to let these school administrators that's making $30, $40, $50,000 a year tell you that they got the same degree and it's going to be a $300,000 job waiting on you. That's a heathen lie from the pits of Sheol. It's sad. It is sad. Man, you look at everything our people gravitate towards. You have to understand, man, the Most High Yah told us not to follow the ways of these other nations. He gave us our own instruction, so we didn't follow after their sexual immorality and wicked ways. Man, it's so bad. It is so bad. Man, I remember being programmed into thinking I was a Gentile, because that's what they taught in the Sunday sun worshiping church. Daggone Constantine. That's what they taught. So I'm looking in the book, thinking the only part that pertains to me is the teachings of Paul. Lost. I'm telling you, y'all better come out from under these heathens. Come out from under them. Man, let me be clear. I don't have no problem with a Gentile walking in the ways of the Most High Yah. Shout out to your brother. Shout out to your sister. Book says you will be treated like a firstborn unto Israel. But a heathen? Whoo! Man, these heathens been here to deceive us the whole time. Whole time. Man, you look at the pledge dudes. You look at the jackets. This stuff ain't adding no prosperity to your life, but sending you to doggone Sheol with gasoline draws on, and you will spend your hard-earned money in this fraternity sorority stuff. Half your sorority sisters that you pledge that call themselves Christian, y'all go to the same church, they nasty. They nasty. Sexually immoral. You counting on these men to be your frat brothers. These some nasty Negroes. Why? Because they reject the ways of the Most High. This is some sick stuff. You know, it doesn't. Now, heathens gonna be heathens. They know this stuff. They know a lot about their culture, the origins of it. They know about it. They researched this stuff. How you think they was able to ensnare you so good? You can't make this stuff up. This stuff's so bad. They gave us the movie Stump the Yard. You got to understand, if you were an actor and you were walking in truth, that'd be one of the movies you have to turn down. I can't do this. That's contrary to what this book say. But because I want you to understand, because we read and call it studying, when they ain't the same, we fall victim to a lot of this stuff. And a lot of our people don't read. They don't read the book. You will go to, I'm gonna be honest, you will go to a HBCU, study underwater basket weaving, read 4 years worth of material, and then cherry pick out of a book that it could expose a lot of this nonsense. It's sad. Can't make it up though. Can't make it up. You search it up, it's a video of a doggone black pastor sitting up here promoting this stuff. And I'm like, man, you can take your doggone college degree, you can take your doggone your pastoralship, you can take it all and shove it. The Bible says, woe to the pastor that scatters the sheep of my flock. You've led my people astray. This is the kind of stuff, man. I'm gonna talk about this. A lot of these Hellenistic black pastors following suit behind these heathens of this prosperity gospel ministry and this business model. I'm gonna expose the crap out of it this Sabbath. And it was a heathen that started that, a non-commandment keeping heathen. Man, I tell you, men, black men and black women, Gentiles, walking in the ways of the Most High Yah, research diligently. Don't just read, study, research, examine, due diligence. Look at a lot of this stuff that we do, find the origins of it, the time frame it came about in history, what the Bible says about it. Is it sin? Is it righteous? And that right there tells you which way you should be walking. Man, the Most High Yah says, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. If you love me. Man, on the commandments hangs the whole Torah. This book, man, says that we are rebellious people. And there ain't when you think about idolatry, you think about the first commandment, you know, man, we're supposed to love the Most High Yah with all that we got. And man, we'll go out and pledge to these other deities, these other idols. You got black folk walking around, and this is the modern day. Now, man, heathens can do that all they want because it's their culture is lawless. But a popular question in the dating community: what's your zodiac sign? Come to church with me on Sunday. Lost sheep. Man, that astrology is divination. That's a sin according to the Torah. And you wondering why these people that you coming across ain't worth a dang. Look at your opening statement. Look at your doggone introductory question. Look at your questions while you interviewing or vetting a man or a woman. What's your zodiac sign? You know, I don't get along with them Capricorns and them Leos. That's some Hellenistic nonsense that we shouldn't be taking part in. I'll tell you more about it this Saturday. Shabbat message, 2 p.m. Promised to give you more book, more Bible, more truth, more understanding than you'll ever get in your whole lifetime of Sunday sun worship. You know, man, this video right here, man, if I can capture one brother or one sister, capture their attention so they can watch this and say, man, that's pretty bold. And go back and do the research and say, you know what? Man, I don't need to do this. I don't need to pledge to this. I don't need to pledge to this nonsense. See, they sold you, these heathens sold you a cherry-picked message, a lukewarm message in lawlessness, and told you all you got to do is repeat after me and you're going to make it to heaven. That makes null and void the rest of the book. That makes null and void. If all you got to do is say a repeat after me. The Most High, if you love me, keep my commandments. You just made that null and void by following the doggone teachings of these heathens. And they pagan holiday adopting butts. Man, the only way out of this, if you partake in it, is repentance. Turn from it. Them brothers call you, them sisters call you, hey girl, sorority sister, you know you my frat brother. Hey brother, I ain't gonna make it this year. I ain't gonna make it the year after that. You can quit calling me with this idolatry. Tell you, man, if you are a black man, man, let go of your love for the world for the simple fact so you can gain more understanding about the righteousness that you're supposed to be calling yourself to or walking in, instead of following the ways of the world. And I put this on men because when you think about it, we were given an example in Messiah, in a man. We were given the example. Men being leaders, man, lead by example. You got children about to, teenagers about to graduate and go off to college. Hey, man, don't let them fall into this trap. Don't overpay. Don't pay $60,000 for some math that you could get at your local community college, and then them promise you, after you done paid $60,000 for this degree, you ain't gonna be able to use. You're guaranteed a high-paying job. Man, I used to, as a recruiter, man, as an Army recruiter, man, I used to have some of these conversations, with a lot of teenagers, and they were shocked. I would say, hey, man, we can sign you up for this school right here. This is the programs that they offer. Avoid them, because I get people coming in here all day long that's then got these degrees that ain't worth toilet paper. They'll give you chafing in your butt. Degrees is worthless. I used to tell teenagers this. Because why? People with these degrees used to come into the recruiting station all the time. Man, I got this degree, man, and I done moved all around the country. Still can't find no work. Men, black men. Man, that is piss poor leadership. You got a daughter and you sit up and let her take some nonsense. You send her off to these schools. You let her get whored out, body count ran off, come back with a baby. This is bad. Come back with a baby, no doggone degree, student loans out the wazoo, and then pledge to a Greek sorority. You're going to have to say something. But in order to say something and be equipped with the knowledge to articulate yourself, man, you're going to have to do the research. Let go of that NFL Sunday ticket. Get off of that Call of Duty. Get out of the strip clubs and do some examination. Because if you don't, this stuff is going to keep happening generation. And it's just every generation that it goes on, it just gets stronger and stronger. Generational strongholds. You got to think about when this stuff originated. You got some black families that's on their third generation of men and women pledging to a doggone Greek fraternity or sorority. But this book, spot on. It says you're going to doggone abandon your customs, and they're going to try to have you become one people. See, these heathens don't want to live up to the righteousness that Israel was told to live up by instruction of the Most High Yah. So what did? They adopted the official pagan religion. That pagan religion is called supersessionism, replacement theology. Go look it up. Only one problem with it. You ain't going to find that it's biblical. Book says, enter through the narrow gate, but the largest religion spreading like a wildfire is Christendom. That's an actual term, by the way. Widest one. People walking through it left and right. And you see the kind of nonsense that's coming out of it. You see the nonsense. Ain't no truth in it. Ain't no truth in it. You know, man, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. You know, if you want more truth like this, if you got a burning desire for biblical truth, the truth of the Most High Yah, which will set you free, man, you need to tune in this Saturday, 2 p.m. for my Sabbath day teaching. Closer to Yah Ministries, kicking it gun barrel straight. Man, I hope that one brother or sister can watch this and be edified and realize, man, that's not the way that we need to be walking in. Closer to Yah Ministries, kicking it gun barrel straight.